Hello and welcome. This is Colleen Moore. I am an Avon independent sales rep. I sell at the Honor Society level, and I also am a silver ambassador for the team Movers and Makeovers. Welcome to my YouTube video. I'm hoping to put more out there. This is my very first one, so let's get started. I don't want to get too lengthy in my information here. The reason why I'm doing this video is stepping out of my comfort zone. I know that this is the age of technology, so I want to try to reach as many reps as possible. We don't have meetings like we used to in the past, which we can have one-on-one time. We can ask questions. We can help each other with different ideas, and I want to try to bring that to the YouTube channel. I read Lisa Scola's book, Success with Scola. I have it right here. So Lisa, if you're watching, I am plugging your book. It's awesome. Awesome reading. It has her life, how she came to Avon, her why, the reason for her book, and it's so helpful to see a different perspective. That is why I look into some of the other Avon reps that have YouTube videos. I want different perspectives because what works for one rep doesn't always work for another rep. You got your area too, city, country, just the people around you. Everything is different for reps. It's kind of like anything else, it just depends. So it isn't just a bunch of set rules and you got to follow these rules, and if you want to be successful you have to do this and this and that. But be open to try new things. And yes, Avon loves to use this term, step out of your comfort zone, and that's exactly what I'm doing right now. Some of the reps that I looked into, you can look into ones that you don't even know, but the more famous, the more well-known. Lisa Scola, Lisa Monison, Molly Stone Bibb. She's a hoot, she's a riot, she's funny. Sometimes I don't even think she means to be funny, that's just her. She comes across funny, and but she gets the point across. She gets her idea across and into your head that says, yeah, maybe I should be trying that. We have one in our own area, Lori Yonick. She's not real close to me, but I do run into her occasionally. It has been a while, but she's always there to lend a helping hand. And most Avon reps, if you have a question, all you have to do is call them up and they will help you at any time. Now, my why, the reason why I started in the Avon business, everybody's why is different. Oddly enough, my why had nothing to do with money. It had to do with needing people. I'm a people person. And I was so involved with my children when they were younger, involved in their sports and their activities, that I was around their friends' parents. So that's where I got my fill of friendship and feel for, one-on-one with somebody. And when they graduated high school and started their lives of their own, I was left, with just a house to clean. And even though my husband says I have OCD, it can only get so clean, and I just needed something else in my life. And I also was watching grandchildren at that time, and I wanted to be available for them. I never wanted to tell them no, I couldn't do it because I had to go to work. So I was looking for a part-time job, and lo and behold, this kind of fell into my lap. Back then it was only $10 to sign up, and so it had nothing to do with earning extra money. It had to do with needing people, needing to be around people and making friendships. And through Avon, I have so many amazing friends too. Right off the top of my head, if I never do Avon again, we would definitely be in touch. They are very near and dear to my heart. It has nothing to do with them buying from me, but we have formed such a relationship that when I need them, they're there for me. My dad recently passed away in October, and so it's been a rough 2019 for me. It certainly ended terribly, and they were there for me. I just can't stress that enough. They surprised me, always checking up on me, making sure I was okay. And you just never know who you're going to meet. And I thank Avon so much for that, because without Avon, I wouldn't have met them. And who knows where my life would be right now. They were so valuable as friends. So that was my why. And I just wanted to do a little hobby. And I'm very competitive when it comes to myself. I do not compete with other reps. There are some reps that do. That's fine. But I am not trying to be better than somebody else except me. I try to outdo my previous year. Since 2019 wasn't too good, my sales did suffer last year. They weren't what they were up to. I think most of it was because of the stuff that was going on around me, and I was just losing my drive and losing my zest, my interest in just about everything. Just was not where it should be. So life does go on, and through some amazing friends that you can lean on and talk to, you just don't want to let them down. And that's what drives me to get back. And I remember Lisa's book. I read it this summer with my husband. He's a fisherman, and while he's fishing, I am not. I'm out sunning myself, enjoying, relaxing, reading books, doing some Avon things, whatever I choose to bring along. And we have our time of relaxation, picnics. It's just awesome. So I remembered reading her book. I was going to do all this here when the kids went back to school. And I had a little bit more time because I watch my granddaughter every other week. And I just wanted a little bit more time to do these. So I remembered that, went back to it, and I thought, you know what? Why do I keep putting this off? I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So that's why I'm here. Now, I do have some notes. I don't want to forget anything. So I want to get into what's working for me. What is working for me is be consistent. Get those books out every 2 weeks. Get them in your customers' hands. I don't know how many customers I have that as soon as they get a book, they have an order for me, but life gets busy. I'm not the only one that's busy. My customers are busy too, and they forget. And then by handing them another book, they're like, oh, I had an order for you. I meant to call you. I just kept forgetting. And then when I would remember, it was late. You know, the old being polite thing, you know, don't call anybody after 9:30. Some people go to bed early, some people don't. But you just don't know. So it's proper etiquette that there's a set time where it's just polite not to call after that time. When my phone rings after that time, right away my heart drops, and it's like, what happened? You know, what's wrong? And you don't want to do that with your customers. So understand they're doing the same thing for you, even though it is an order and that is your business. So be consistent. Get those books out in the hands every 2 weeks. There are some times where life gets busy for me and I have to skip, but they always get their back books. But most of the time, every 2 weeks, they are getting their books for a reminder. I order extra books. I put them in sheets. They between the two doors that you go into the one side, they have a big community bulletin board. Some banks have bulletin boards if you ask. They will allow you to leave books there. There are some stores that have bulletin boards. Anywhere that you can see a bulletin board, or anywhere where you can ask the owner or the manager or whatever, can I just leave books? Be polite, ask, and then when you do, you can use your extra books. If you have prior books, expired books, don't throw them out. They cost money. Use them. I will very quickly tell you a story of, I was coming out of one of the stores, putting my books in there, and a lady behind me tapped me, and she said, are you the Avon lady? Are you the ones that you put the books there? And I'm like, yeah. And she says, oh, I love Avon. I get one of your books every time I come here. And I said, you know what? I have current books. These here are expired books that people, you know, if they're interested, they call me for a current book or current pricing. I will get you a current book to look through. So she waits, I go to my car, I come back, I tell her my name and information, my phone number is on the back, call me with any questions, call me with an order. And I said, can I have your number, because life does get busy, and I will follow up with you in a couple days to see if you have an order. And she goes, oh, no. She says, I don't order. I just love looking through the books. And I thought, you could have used one of my previous books, because now a customer, a paying customer, a customer who's going to buy from you, there's one less book, So I'm kind of a little bit more cautious giving out my current books. I get a little bit more information now before I go that route. But if they go, oh, I haven't seen one for years, I love Avon, I used to use their perfume all the time or whatever, I try to make sure that they might be a possible paying customer, that will give me an order before I give them a current book. So kind of be careful with that. That's just something happened to me one time, but made me a little bit more cautious with my current books. Never, ever, ever put your address on the books. You never know where your books are going to end up. And in this day and age, you want to be safe. You don't want some creep coming around, got your address, think you have a lot of money, maybe, who knows what goes through their mind nowadays. But it's to keep you safe. They don't need your address to call you with an order. They don't need to know where you live. All they need is a contact number. And if you have your phone number on the back, is all they need. You can get all that information when they place their order as to where you're going to be taking it to them. Or if they happen to be out of your area. I've had this happen, and this is another idea. Actually, the other videos I practice with, I didn't even put it on, but this is what I do with people whose schedules don't meet up with mine, and they don't want me leaving packages. Now, I don't want to keep going back. That's time wasted for me. So I suggest to them, you want to come out to my house, and she says, well, when are you going to be home? And I'm like, I have a cooler, just an old cooler, latches, it's out in front. People think, well, it's a cooler, so it has drinks, it has whatever in it. And it's right by my door. And I have my Avon orders in there for pickup. And I never put more than one in there. I wait, unless I know the people and they both know each other and they're going, that's okay. And you can trust them. You kind of get the feel for your customers. So I should say, get the feel for your customers first. But on the whole, I put one in at a time. Then they come at their convenience. They leave their money. They take their package. I've never had anybody just take a package and not leave me money, because I don't suggest it to just everybody. It depends on the customer. You know what your customers are capable of, who you can trust, who you can't trust. But that's what I do. And then even when I'm out delivering, they're picking their order up. Or they can come, like maybe they get off work and I'm in the middle of supper, making something, and I can't leave the kitchen, and that's when they want to come and pick it up. Now I feel like, they're more important. I should stop my supper, but so are we, and I don't want to ruin what I'm making. So I will tell them in advance, I will put it in the cooler. I may be home, I may not be home, but if I'm home, if it's around, supper time, I might be getting supper. So, if you don't want to knock on the door, just leave everything in the cooler, and it has worked wonders for me. Another thing is the cash and carry items. I would like to show you, I do take a basket around. This is my basket. Whoops, we'll look at it this way. Right now I have it ready to go with the Senses body lotions. I have a makeup bag in there that I have had on hand. I'm trying to move that, and I have specials. You can get these in your brochure for, I think, on sale for $3.99. I have them even price $3. They're getting a sale, and I'm moving these products, things that I have on hand. I'm trying to move them along. So by selling them, maybe I'm not making as much money, but it's not being put to waste. I'm making a little bit of money. The customer's getting a deal on that, and we're moving the products right along. They're happy, I'm happy. Another thing that I do is with our jewelry. And this here is an idea actually was a collaboration between me and my husband. I used to put my jewelry in a shirt box, and one winter the wind came and took it, and I had jewelry all over my front yard, and I'm running around trying to put all this jewelry in while the wind is blowing. Excuse me. I have to get some things off so that you can see my jewelry in here. And I'm trying to dig through the snow to get all my jewelry up. And I did happen to miss a product. It thawed out in the spring. I ran across it, and it was not a pretty sight. I tried to clean it up. Felt a little guilty because, I mean, surely I could tell people what happened. I cleaned it up. It looked half decent, but it wasn't something that I would probably buy. And I thought, you know what, I'm not even selling that to my customers. So, you know, I just sort of got rid of it. But my husband suggested to look a little bit more professional. He suggested these boxes. They are fishing boxes. Like I said, my husband's a fisherman. And they latch. They have latches in the front. I have several of them. When you go to look for them, they have dividers in because they were made for fishermen, for fishing lures. And he knows that he can get them, and if I'm not mistaken, it was either through Amazon or eBay. And he got bundles of them, and they were $4.99 a piece for them, for me. And the insides of them all come out. So this here is totally empty. And what I do is I keep the jewelry in the boxes, place them in the boxes with the prices, and then when the customer's looking for them, all they have to do is open them up, and everything is easily displayed, and it's easily taken around to the houses. That's what I like about it. I want, instead of using just a garbage bag, trying to think of some bags that looked a little bit professional. One of my customers had a 31 party, and in the party, I got this bag, nice tote bag, and I had it embroidered with Avon on it. So it looks very professional. I could put 3 of these in the bag as I take them around, and they're easy to carry. I have 2 of them. I put 1 on each arm, and I still have my arms free for books, for my money bag. Sometimes I can even stick it in alongside the bag and then just have the 2 bags there. But when my customers see this coming around, they know I have jewelry, and they get so excited. They see all this jewelry, and I have been able to sell more jewelry than just by handing them a book. They see it, you know, it's displayed for them, and it's easily sellable. When you look at it in the book, how many of your customers, those reps that have been reps for a while, their customers buy a piece of jewelry, and when they get it, they say, oh, this thing was way too big, bigger than I ever thought it was in the book. Or just the opposite. I thought this was a little bigger. You know, big is in right now. They thought it was bigger, and it was a little more on the dainty side, and they didn't like the way it looked. So here it's displayed. They can see exactly what it looks like. You're selling it at even. I always put things out even. If it's $9.99, I sell it for $10. Yeah, it's a penny more, but taxes included. I always tell them taxes included, not that there is no tax. Taxes included, so that comes out of my profit. And then you don't have to be fumbling with change. It's clear dollar bills. And it has been awesome. I mean, my customers actually look for it. Wear your name tag. I know a couple years ago that the Avon reps were saying it's a little bit intimidating for your customers. They see the Avon, you know, name tag, and it's like, oh, geez, it's gonna, you know, sell me a product, so they go the other way. But I find quite the opposite. When I'm out delivering and I need a drink and I have to go into the store, I'm standing in line, my name tag is on, and I get tapped on the shoulder, and they go, you sell Avon? And I say, yes, I do. Actually, I'm out delivering today. Have you ever heard of our company? Have you ever seen an Avon brochure? When's the last time you've seen an Avon brochure? And it starts a conversation. So sometimes I don't even have to go up and make an effort to talk to somebody. They're talking to me, you know. So I kind of stand out, and the people that are interested, right away, they'll say, oh, you know, I would love it if, you know, you give me a book. I'm like, you know what? I'm delivering this week. So give me a second. I'll go to the car. You can have a book. Can I have your phone number? I'll follow up with you in a couple days, see if there's anything that I can get for you, answer any of your questions, help you out in any way, shape, or form. And most of the time they will give you the number that you can follow up, because let's face it, life gets busy. I do it myself. I get magazines in the mail. I go through them. I mark what I want, put it aside, meaning to get online and place the order. And next thing I know, it's months later, and it's like I meant to order that. Now we're heading into, like if I see something in the summer, now we're heading into winter. So summer things are no longer available, so I've missed my chance. I'm not saying if somebody called me up and said, we're going into the winter things, do you want anything from this book? More than likely I probably would have said, oh yeah, there really is. Sometimes I mark those pages just because I'm still thinking, do I really want this, or whatever. And other people are like that too, but if you make the effort to call them, they will think a little bit harder, and they go, yeah, you know what, just go ahead and order that for me. And then you have an order. So I say wear your name tag. You stand out, people know who to contact then. Take the online training courses. So easy, so simple. At your time, your speed, even in the middle of a course, you can stop it and pick it up right where you left off. So there's no excuse for not going through the Avon courses, other than being busy, meaning to get to them, but to just say, I don't have time to finish a course. If you have 5 minutes, get in there and do 5 minutes at a time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Sometimes I get in there and I'm there for an hour and a half, only meaning to be in there for 10 minutes. And now I have gotten how many courses underneath my belt. So, get in there and do those courses. Set small goals. Don't set large goals that make it seem impossible to meet. Set small goals to get to the big goal. It's like a baby walking. They don't just get up and walk because they're 9 months old. They take baby steps. They scoot. They start to crawl. They're pulling themselves up on stuff. They're trying to get their balance. Next thing you know, they're holding themselves on the side of a table, and then they let go. They start to walk. Then they start to walk a little bit faster, and then they're running around you. They're running circles around you. So it's like that with anything. Make your goals small so that they seem achievable. If you hit them too high, you're more than likely going to give up. You're going to get frustrated and you're going to give up. And last but least, be patient. People that start Avon and a couple weeks later they go, I can't get any customers. I'm just going to give this up. Don't give up. It takes time to build something. To build something worth having is something worth waiting for. So be patient. Be diligent. Try to educate yourself. Ask for ideas, help from other reps. Try to get your hands on as much information as possible to make you better at doing what you're doing. And when I started out, I didn't have an upline leader. I had really nobody to talk to call up and walk me through steps. I relied on the meetings and my Avon friends, and they were more than happy to help me. And we are all here to help each other. So you need to reach out and tell them you're having trouble and you need some ideas. Get on YouTube. Find all kinds of videos for different areas. That they all are labeled. So if you're looking for, how do I get skincare customers? How do I get more customers, period? If you have a question about the business, about the online store, about youravon.com, there's always a video that's labeled that you can find help. So educate yourself is the best thing. So for now, I thank you so much for your time and hope to see you again. We'll see you. Bye-bye.